So I want to thank everybody at the South Florida Water Management District for what you do every day. You're responsible for the water resources for over 8 million people, and you do a great job. I also want to recognize Speaker Richard Corcoran. If it wasn't for his hard work, we wouldn't have gotten all the things done, and we have a lot of things to brag about this session. A lot of them right here that impact this part of the state. I want to thank everybody for being here. There's a lot of people here that are elected. They care about what happens to this state. I also want to recognize Kelly Smallridge. She's probably had me call more companies since I got elected, more than anybody in the state. So as you know, we had a very successful special session. And again, it couldn't have happened but for the support of our Speaker of the House, Richard Corcoran. But also the House and Senate all supported the priorities that all of us that are worried about the future of our state care about. Number one, we had $215 million for K-12, more funding for K-12 education, $100 more a student. If you travel the state like I do, people care about a few things. They want a job, they want their kids and their grandkids, in my case, to get a good education, and they want to make sure they can be safe. So I want to thank everybody for that. Number two, 1 of every 6 jobs in our state is tied to tourism. We all love our state, and there's a lot of people from outside our state that love our state. We just had another record quarter of tourism, 31.1 million tourists in the first quarter. But last year we had almost 113 million tourists. We fully funded Visit Florida, but with more accountability. That effort was led by our Speaker of the House, Richard Corcoran. And we'll make sure it's an accountable system. It's transparent so everybody knows how it's spent. By the way, it's your money, and we've got to make sure we spend it well. Next, we've got to continue to grow our state. We've added 1.3 million jobs, so we have to keep thinking about how can we improve economic development efforts in our state. We have a new program that's more flexible and transparent for economic development. It's tied to public infrastructure and individual job training. It's a total of $85 million. My goal is we, month after month, continue to grow jobs in our state. We'll have our announcement for May on Friday, and hopefully we'll have another good month. We're already down to 4.5%, and we've added 1.3 million jobs. Next, something I know is very important to the Water Management District, and that's finally get the dike fixed. As you know, President Trump has committed to be our partner. We were not able to get that done through President Obama, but we have a commitment from President Trump to help get that done. My goal is to get it done by 2022, but with the leadership of our Speaker of the House, Richard Corcoran, we have $50 million in this budget to make sure we jumpstart the program to get the dike fixed. We have to get that dike fixed. We don't want the green algae that we saw in the Indian River Lagoon. We don't want the dirty water that we had in the Caloosahatchee. We've got a lot of jobs tied to people that work and live around the dike. We got to take care of them. And so this is an unbelievable big win. And I think everybody deserves a round of applause for getting that accomplished. On top of that, one of the reasons why we've had the opportunity to grow all these jobs is we've reduced regulation, which we did again this year with the support of the House and Senate, and we reduced taxes. We've already reduced taxes by, I've already signed one bill that reduces taxes by $180 million, and I know there's more as we go through the rest of this budget. So this is a day that we can celebrate, a very successful session. The Speaker and I will be traveling the state. We've already been in Miami. We'll be here. We'll be in Fort Myers, Tampa, and Jacksonville to celebrate the success of this legislative session. So congratulations, and I want to thank everybody at the South Florida Water Management District for all of your hard work. I want to congratulate you on all the projects you've gotten done in the last 6 years and all that you're going to do to make sure we have all the water resources that we need for an unbelievable growing population in a beautiful part of the state. Now it's my distinct opportunity to introduce somebody I've enjoyed working with, somebody I've known for a long time, the Speaker of the House, Richard Corcoran.
Thank you, Jim, for having us. And I just first and foremost would like to say what an honor it is to be able to travel the state with the governor. I think if you go back in time and judge what we have done from January until through this last special session, I think you're going to see it's one of the more transformative, impactful sessions in the history of the state. The governor mentioned it this year, continued down the path of the governor with tax cuts. We passed the largest single tax cut in state history, which will be on the ballot for our voters. We continue to deregulate, freeing up our businesses to compete in that marketplace. And then, as the governor had mentioned, we did some spectacular things in the last 3 days of the 3 days of the special session. First and foremost, we fully funded Visit Florida, continue to get the tourism numbers that we're getting. And as the governor said, we added those accountability provisions to make sure that all those dollars are going exactly to those things that would draw down those tourists and allow us to be so successful. We also created a new fund. I've said it numerous times. It gives the governor broad discretion. It's for infrastructure. It's for education. It is a model for the rest of the nation. I think you're going to see it go viral in the other 49 states, where they are going to start going down that same path of getting out of the business of picking winners and losers and doing massive projects that benefit the whole and allow businesses to flourish and allow those things to happen. And finally, we funded education. We've done some transformative work in education, and now we're up to the highest level of funding ever. And with that funding, I think you're going to see an opportunity for parents to go out there and be more greatly assured of that transformative education and world-class education that they deserve. And finally, as the governor said it, he always gives way too much credit than's due. But due to his great relationship with President Trump and his leadership, we have gotten a huge jump start on 500,000 acre-feet of storage, and not only just the storage capacity and beginning the end of blue-green algae in the state, but also the protection of the people that could be affected by any kind of damage to the dike. And that was all through his great efforts and his relationship with President Trump. I think we're going to continue down that path. And the neat thing about what we did in special session, I'll give the governor a huge shout out, and well-deserved, is he is now the #1 governor, maybe in the nation, but certainly in the state of Florida, for vetoing pork barrel spending. And all of these things that we just talked about, funding kids at the highest level, protecting our tourist market, protecting our job market, helping protect our environment and keep our people safe, all of that was paid for in large part by vetoes of pork barrel spending. And that's what a better expenditure than going out there and doing those kinds of expenditures, but investing in those things that really do transform the lives of the state. I've said it before, as you guys know well, the governor is a passionate warrior for those things that he believes in. And I think from the day he announced his candidacy for governor to today, no one has done more to go out there and fight for jobs, and allowing families to flourish and have a world-class education. And I will say this, the nice thing is that we have one more session together, and I think we both well intend to even do better than this session and going out there and transforming the state for the people and the families of the state. So it's an honor to be here, and thank you very much.
You know, it's really important who you elect, and if you elect people that really care about families, good things get done. So the speaker is somebody that cared about families, and we had a great session. Now somebody that cares about families in Palm Beach and has been a leader in economic development nationwide, Kelly Smallridge.
Good morning, everyone. Wow, what a big day for the state of Florida. And Governor Scott, thank you so much for choosing Palm Beach County to celebrate this news. I have been doing this for about 3 decades here in Palm Beach County, and I want to say that this is an excellent legislative session that brings great tools to Palm Beach County. Anytime that you bring resources and infrastructure, education, and training, you're doing big things for the state of Florida that assist companies in their efforts to create jobs. And I think this will really wake up the eyes of many CEOs throughout the country who have been taking a look at moving or expanding their operations to Florida with this new resource toolkit. Representative Corcoran, thank you so much for your leadership. I know it was a tough legislative session, and we exchanged dialogue throughout that time, but we appreciate you seeing the efforts of economic development and how important it is to create jobs for Palm Beach County and for the state of Florida. I also wanted to recognize my partner, Jorge Priscara. The reason why Palm Beach County is almost #1 in tourism is because we have an excellent CEO, and the two of us work hand in hand. We're #1 in economic development, but we're also #1 in tourism. I also want to echo Representative Corcoran's thoughts about Governor Scott. As I mentioned, I have been doing this a long time. I've never seen a governor like Governor Scott, who has worked so hard, relentlessly for the state of Florida to bring jobs to our state's families. Governor Scott, thank you so much for your efforts during this session.
I want to thank the South Florida Water Management District for hosting us today, but we had a great session. We can all be proud. I know there's a lot of elected officials that are here, and I'm also proud of some things we've been able to do in the Belglades area and some of those areas that have struggled for jobs. And I know Palm Beach County and Kelly and others are working hard to make sure we get more jobs there. So we're going to continue to invest. But again, none of this would have happened but for a speaker that cared about this community and all communities around our state. Have a great day.